Doctor Who, Time Victorious, All Flesh is Glass, the final book inside the Time Victorious storyline, and it's actually meant to be the grand finale. It's meant to be the big end of this giant event that they've been putting up since September and since being advertising since probably May of this year. And here's the thing about this novel and my opinions on this novel is, and by the way, like I just read 200 pages, so if you hear me coughing or something, it's because of that. My throat is a little bit sore reading that. Anyway, reading the 200 pages. Anyway, so my opinions of this is, at the beginning, I was on board with it. Like, it picks up just like the end of the Night of the Fallen Dead, and having where 10 is the Time of Victorious. He is wearing all the gear. He's wearing the stuff that is in the promotional stuff. And 8 is in a Dalek ship. 9 is in a coffin vampire ship. And both of them are like, Doctor, please, for the love of God, you have created genocide. You blew up a planet. You killed the Atura. What is the meaning of this? And what you have is, for the first couple of chapters, these very good, like, emotional scenes of like 10's kind of like, what are you doing with Daleks and bloody, like, vampires? Clearly something's up here. Like, clearly this is weird that my past selves are like this. Then, but in the other end, it's like, them being shocked by their future self, that they are going to be this, and this is the road they're going to take. And it's a real, good drama thing, while also having a couple of chapters of a good old war, a good old battle freak, where like Dalek, basically 8 is like, do this, and Dalek's completely annoying him. And vampires, vampires doing this and doing that, and so in a way, it's kind of like this like mini war, mini action sequence in a couple of chapters with some really good drama and really good aspects with it. And it has this great scene at the end of like the 3rd chapter, I believe, where it's just the 3 of them talking. Because here's the thing: it's always fun seeing, or in this case, reading doctors bickering at each other, or having seen doctors bickering or have argues or all that kind of stuff, and having the 3 of them, even though 10's not, in a way 10 as we know him from the show and from the show, well, maybe for 30 seconds, knowing from the show for the end of Wars of Mars, but there's this guy where the 3, basically the whole 10 stop what you're doing, and it's the eventing scene, and it's, or the eventing moment. And I'm like, this is really good and all that, and of course the idea is there's a bigger threat. I mean, Daleks are in there, so Daleks are probably going to be the big bad and all that, and the idea that we're going to have the 3 doctors fighting off Daleks and that whole thing, and teaming up to save the Dark Times for one big while and that whole thing. And you're like, okay, this might be a little bit neat. But there's a couple things that happens in this novel that I'm like, this is too long. Like halfway through, this is why I'm like, oh, it's 15 chapters, this is not bad. But it's 200 pages, so this is not going to be bad. But the problem is, they have a story here. They have a story, and it is dragged on so long. It is stretched out in a way that it's like, I get it, okay? The doctor, this doctor is teaming up. This doctor is going to do this, and this doctor is going to do this, and this doctor's going to do this, and it's going to be all connected in this kind of way. But it feels like it's just taking mini steps, because it feels like they're just trying to fill out writing spaces. It's like, okay, I technically have like a story for like maybe 150 pages, but I need to add like an extra 20, an extra 30, an extra 50 to have that age gap, so it all switches out. And it just feels so padded to the point, I won't lie, I was losing interest with the story. And I was dragging and slugging along of this finale. Like, spoiler, the tour shows up. Because we're dealing with one of the vampires. So we're hearing this point where we're changing situations. We're changing scenarios. So it feels like they're juggling so much to the point it kind of falls apart. And it's weird suffering because this event, I think outside a couple other things, like I would say 8 times out of 10, this event's been pretty well done. This event has been handled in a very well done way. And it's sad that it ends in a way. Like, here's the thing. We got the Dalek episode tomorrow. We have in February Echoes of Extinction. So it's not 100% over. But this being the finale, this being like the thing that it wraps up over, this is the end game. You know, it's pretty sad that it ends on this kind of juggling too much and jumping over the place or dragging too much, and it's just like, this feels like it should have been like maybe 150 pages versus 200, because the story there is there and you understand what they're trying to do here, but it feels that, you know, just cut that part out and do that. It also felt like the Whites had the idea for like 2 of the Doctors to do and had to like, okay, you do this, all that, and it's just, it's sad. But yeah, Old versus Glass, just a bit of a disappointment. Loved like the first half of this novel, and then the other half just meh, just a drag on, stretch out, padding too much in of a story that feels like it shouldn't be padded in.